In order to improve the mind, we ought less to learn than to contemplate. So wrote René Descartes, the 17th-century French philosopher. Saracens players have become used to discussing in a group organized by the club's psychologist, David Jones, as a part of the club's team-building ethos. There will be contemplation aplenty at Allianz Park after the defeat at Harlequins last Sunday meant the European Champions Cup holders had lost 3 consecutive Premiership matches for the first time since 2010, the season they made their breakthrough after years of inconsistency. In 2010, Saracens lost at Wasps, at home to Bath and then away to the bottom club, Leeds, in a run of matches during the Six Nations. This season, they lost at Gloucester after dominating the first half and then did the same at home to Exeter before again seeing Harlequins come from behind late on at the Stoop last Sunday. The first 2 matches were played during the autumn internationals when they were without 6 players, as well as the injured Billy Vunipola, but they were close to full strength at the Stoop, as they were on the previous 2 league visits to the ground, which also ended in defeat. Saracens' success has made them prime targets for England to the extent that not only did they lose their outsider half Owen Farrell last month but also, although he was released to play at Gloucester, his backup Alex Lozowski. The second-row Nikos Ekwe, groomed this season to take over from Maro Itoje and George Kruis in the international windows, played for England against Samoa. Sarries are finding the resources stretched, and since defeating London Irish at the end of October, they have lost their 2 matches in the Anglo-Welsh Cup, against Harlequins and Sale, followed by the 3 league defeats. On Sunday they faced Clermont-Auvergne at home in the European Champions Cup, the last team to defeat them in the competition in the 2015 semi-final. Clermont, the French champions, have won only 1 match on the road this season, at Ospreys on the opening weekend of the Champions Cup, with 5 defeats and a draw at Oyonnax away from their home ground where they have a 100% record. It is a meeting of the sides who contested the final last May at Murrayfield, and with both starting their European campaign with 2 victories, a home victory will be the sweeter for the denial of a losing bonus point. Saracens are no more at crisis point than Clermont, who while lying 9th in the top 14 are only 3 points behind third-placed Lyon. Their current slump, which follows defeats at Worcester and Gloucester during the Six Nations last season, may prompt a debate over the practicality of having so many England players, but what is also relevant is the way the game is now placing more emphasis on retaining possession, something the Premiership champions and current leaders Exeter are masters at. Saracens in the league pomp were not the team to play catch-up against, but they let 8-point leads in the final quarter slip against Gloucester and Harlequins and led Exeter by 9 at half-time. In each case, they lost to a try, not a penalty. They were games they used to see out, and they lost to the Chiefs at Sandy Park in last May's playoff semi-final to a late try. The Premiership will reach its halfway point in the next round just before Christmas, but already, to look at 2 of last season's playoff teams, Wasps have lost as many matches as they did in that campaign, 4. And Saracens have lost 4 compared to 5. What has been notable in the last 3 months is the cluster victories and defeats are coming in. Wasps won their first 2 matches, lost the next 4 and are on a 4-game winning streak. Northampton won 4 in a row but have lost the last 5. Newcastle started with 4 wins in 5 but now have 1 victory in 5. Gloucester have won 5 in a row after losing 3 of their first 5 matches. Saracens have 5 successive victories before their latest run, and Leicester started with 2 defeats and have lost the last 2 games but in between enjoyed a 6-match winning streak. Only Exeter and London Irish have been models of consistency. The Premiership is the most competitive of competitions, said Di Young, the Wasps' director of rugby. There are so many one-score margins that the law of averages dictates some games are going to go against you. All clubs are ambitious and are signing very good players, so the gap is getting smaller. It is not about 3 or 4 any longer. Sarries won a few games late on last season and it is currently going the other way. It is not a huge swing. They have not suddenly gone from winning by 50 points to losing by 50. I think the teams in the top 4 will lose more games this season than the average. Ball in play time is increasing and it makes it harder because teams are scoring tries. Sarries are kicking more than they used to, and that creates the opportunity for mistakes. They are expanding and becoming a bit looser, but they will be in the top 4 without a shadow of a doubt, and do well in Europe. If we are in front of Saracens at the end of the season, I will be happy because it means we will be in a good place. Crucial for Saracens will be their block of 4 matches during the 2018 Six Nations. They face Newcastle at home, having won the last 15 league matches against the Falcons, then travel to Sale, a club they have lost to once in the last 13, and welcome Leicester, whose last win at Saracens was in 2012, before travelling to Exeter, a club they failed to beat in 3 encounters this year. The Philosophy Club at Saracens is run by the psychologist Jones. We may discuss Descartes and we discuss themes like envy and anger, he told the Financial Times in October. We have conversation cards with open-ended questions. The aim is to give them a deeper understanding of each other so that, when things go wrong, they pull together. Clermont can expect a reaction. This is an extract from The Breakdown, The Guardian's weekly rugby union email. To subscribe, just visit this page, find The Breakdown and follow the instructions.